Going over to the political part podcast, you have another bill going viral. You have Tim Walz that signed on this bill, became a law allowing abortion up to birth, and even if the baby is quote unquote accidentally born, they're allowed to not help it. Which yeah, interesting how he dodged this question as well as the gun questions during the vice president debate. Because yeah, I did a fact check in real time when I actually covered the debate myself, and yeah, Minnesota, and again, it's a states' rights issue. People in Minnesota love it, so they vote for it up to basically no restrictions. Now, granted, this happened in the past, but still going viral again. It's come to us thanks to Libs of TikTok, in which she says, quote, by the way, Tim Walz signed a law allowing abortion up to birth and allows doctors to leave the baby to die if they're born after a botched abortion, unquote. And we'll actually read the actual law right here, or so she makes her life too easy. She even highlighted part of it. Now, again, this is the bill is labeled Chapter 4, HEF1, an act related to health, establish a fundamental right to reproductive health, proposing code for new law in Minnesota statutes. It's Chapter 145, which, geez, that would be a boring book to read. I'm kidding, obviously, it's a government documents. It says, be it enacted by the legislature of the state of Minnesota. I go down to subsection 5. It says, quote, local unit of government limitation. The local unit of government may not regulate an individual's ability to freely exercise the fundamental rights set forth in this section in a manner that is more restrictive than set forth in the other section. In which they say, well, we'll read the whole thing. So, subsection 1, short title. This title may be cited the Protect Reproduction Options Act. And it says, subsection 2, definition. For purposes of this section, reproductive health care means health care offered, arranged, or furnished for purposes of preventing pregnancy, terminating pregnancy, managing pregnancy loss, or improving material health and birth outcomes. Reproductive health care includes, but not limited to, contraception, sterilization, preconception care, maternity care, abortion care, family planning, fertility clinics, counseling regarding reproductive health care. To subsection 3, reproductive freedom, says every individual has the fundamental right to make autonomous decisions about the individual's own reproductive health, including the fundamental right to use or refuse reproductive health care. Every individual who becomes pregnant, it's funny they don't say women because they can't define what a woman is, they has a fundamental right to continue the pregnancy, give birth, or obtain an abortion, and to make autonomous decisions about how to exercise that fundamental right. Yep. And again, the people voted for it. They're happy. Oh, kids aren't, but yep. Here you go. See the close-up of the article as well. And there you see this is from dailysignal.com. Mary Margaret Olhan. He wrote, quote, under Governor Tim Walz, babies born alive in botched abortions were left to die. Then he removed reporting requirements, which, just like the crime statistics, interesting how you can fudge the numbers when you just don't input the proper data, which is one way to make it look in your favorable. Now this went moderately viral. Got 940,000 views as well as 11,000 likes. One of the first comments coming from Chuck Cassell saying he's a liar, getting 194 likes. Libercat Media TM says the face you make when China calls you out, which again that's Miss Libs of TikTok, and it's Tim Walz looking like a deer in the headlights at the VP debate. Which, yeah, in terms of looking awkward, yeah, he definitely gets that trophy. Some might argue I'm in second place, but nevertheless, I mean his deer in the headlights picture there is comically awkward. That got 128 likes. Cash Lorenz says Walz doesn't want voters to know about that, getting 11 likes, which, I mean, actually, I might just remove that like, because, I mean, his voters want that. That's why they voted for him. That's why Minnesota has that law, because a majority of the population wants it. And again, when you look at the Democrat Party, they had an abortion and sterilization, what do we call it, minibus outside the DNC in Chicago. Which, granted, some might argue just living in Chicago is, danger enough. But, I mean, it used to be safe, legal, rare back in the day. It was old Democrat, kind of mantra. I mean, now they just push for it and they brag about it. So I actually don't think Dave Walz cares if this goes viral. I mean, abortion is one of the biggest things for the upcoming election, even though, again, it is a states' rights issue. I mean, nothing's going to change from a federal level, even if they lie to you and say they will. But I actually think he would want more people to know this. I also have David Sullivan, hashtag prosecute Fauci, saying tampons record is notorious. Says, get to know Governor Tim Walz. Thanks to the little infographic on him. It says, quote, put COVID positive patients in nursing homes, support hormone blockers and gender transitions for children, anti-American energy, high taxes in Minnesota, supports open borders, sanctuary cities in Minnesota, signed a bill giving illegal immigrants licenses, soft on crime, defund the police during the George Floyd lot riots, 9. Violent crime in Minnesota up 21% since he became governor. Supported a burn and loot Summer of Love riots in Minneapolis. Gained 65 likes. And it says a far left radical socialist. And you have a picture of him there as well. Let's see here. Dead President Show says, mind your own business was Walz's statements about abortion during the debate. Clorox injected it into little beating hearts of millions of babies. We are told to mind our own business. Getting 51 likes. Let's see. Burbank says Walz is sick. They all are. Vote Trump, getting 33 likes. Proud Patriot US says Walz is scum. Less than scum, getting 65 likes. Here. See. Aaron Meyer says, data from the Minnesota Department of Health indicate that since Governor Walz was inaugurated in 2019, 8 babies survived abortion attempts in Minnesota. On 5 occasions, no measures were taken to preserve life. On 3 occasions, only comfort care was provided. Jesus. And they got 15 likes, which, yeah, of all the things which, I still can't believe it's controversial. So mentally morally vacuous. It's hard for me to comprehend people who would think if you have a botched abortion, aka the baby's born healthily, and the parents don't want it, why not just give it up for adoption? And there are millions of people, there are millions of Americans who desperately want a child, but maybe they're having troubles doing it naturally. Maybe they can't. And I mean, you hear about the horror stories of like people being on a wait list for like years for adoption. There's a huge number of people who really want that. Why not, in this instance, why not just put the baby up for adoption? Again, the baby's already there and alive. I think if the majority of Americans knew those instances occurred, I think well above 50% of the populace would agree that the child should be given up for adoption. And again, there's a hot mic with the senator saying that a couple months ago, and then of course, when it went viral, they said, "Oh no, you're misconstruing my words." Yeah, interesting. Let's see. I'm not seeing, and again, I try to scroll pretty good, and I follow people on the left, and the middle, and the right, and the libertarian. I try to get more of a diverse number of comments, so it's not just an echo chamber. But I'm not seeing a lot of contrarian comments here. And again, don't get me wrong, I'd say 20-30% of America really agrees with what Tim Walz is doing in Minnesota. Again, people there, obviously, they voted for him, they like him. Now, in terms of the overall United States, up to the ninth month, that's pretty radical. You see a lot of the surveys, and granted, no survey is perfect, but usually after 16 weeks, that's when a lot of people just aren't comfortable with, and a lot of people don't support abortions. That's seemed to be, and again, I don't think there's really a rhyme or reason on that. It's just, a lot of people just have that gut check moment, but I understand the arguments on both sides. I certainly don't agree with those late-term abortions at all, just in general. But yeah, it's I can't think. I wonder if this will actually hurt him politically speaking. It's going to be I don't think it'll end his political career. If anything, maybe they'll get him reelected in Minnesota. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this? Abortion is one of the most controversial things in the United States. It's one of the biggest topics for the upcoming election. And even though, again, it shouldn't be, it's a state's issue, and it's not going to change on a federal level. And again, Trump has said for the umpteenth time he's not going to pass any regulations, not if he could, around the topic, if he were to get elected president. But they keep, spewing these lies out. Do you think, if anything, this actually helped him actually raise more money from leftists or people who want up to the ninth month? Or do you think it'll alienate some people in the middle who, don't really feel comfortable with that? Let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.